Hello everyone. So my and happy week 103. 103. So my phone recently updated. And so this is like my first updated phone thing. I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm not a fan, actually. There's like so much going on. I'm sure I don't even know all the features. And I honestly don't really want to learn them. Because like I'm just like confused. I do want to learn them, but I don't. It's complicated. So this week has been quite eventful. Oh, look at that little swoop on my head. That's cute. I approve. Wish I had one on the other side. I feel like my curls got damaged from like, I used to love just doing like buns for my hair. And so I did buns all the time. It's funny saying the word buns now because it has like a different meaning than it used to. But yeah. And so I feel like that kind of messed up the front part of my hair because like I'll wash it and this front, like the crown of my head will always be like kind of dry and like it just sticks up immediately and I'm like, what are you doing? Also, I feel like for my Christmas list, a good idea would be if maybe here's a good Christmas gift or like a holiday where you get gift ideas because like I know it's called Eid or whatever. That sounded disrespectful. Eid all, I'm gonna butcher that so bad. Eid al-Fitr is in May. So if you celebrate that, here's a good idea for you. Well, depending on how the gifts work or if you get gifts, I don't really know, I'm sorry. So like there's a stain in my shirt. This is making it look like I'm saying you should get this as your gift. Don't piss me off. Okay, so there's a stain on my shirt and I was thinking like, you know, if somebody's feeling a little broke this holiday or if like they just like don't really want to give like material gifts, a good gift would be like I give you all my clothes with stains and you get the stains out for me. Like I feel like that's a gift I would love. Like don't get me a gag gift, do that and I will appreciate it so much because I have so many stains in my clothes and it's either from my sunscreen or from food and they don't come out. Like I just drop stuff into my lap and it just stains. Oh my God. There's another stain. Like I put my Chipotle bag on my Uggs. Holy consumerism. And now there's a stain on my Uggs. I got this for my birthday. But like why am I getting I made a decision to join the tennis team. I don't know how to play tennis and apparently they're good and they want me to buy the uniform before I try out for the team. Girl, I don't know if I'm gonna make that tryout. I don't even have a tennis racket. I don't really have tennis outfits. I mean, I could formulate some, but like, anywho, I feel like that could be like a good gift. So there's an idea. Or like just like general favors for people. Like if somebody could go through my TikToks and sort them, oh, I would love them for life. Low-key, I should do that. Like, because now that it's Christmas break, I have time, or holiday break. I have time to do whatever I want. Oh, it hurts my teeth. My teeth are like really sensitive and it might be bad. It might be problematic. I think it's also because I'm a really bad snacker because I have really bad emetophobia. And so when I was like younger, I like, oh, a little bit of a lore drop. I low-key would only have smoothies for like 6 months of my life. Like I would have food. Like, yes, I ate meals, but like I would literally like eat smoothies, so many smoothies, like that was all I wanted because I don't know, everything made me anxious because in 4th grade, so for me that was fall break 2018, I think I got like the stomach bug or something. Oh, it was awful. And so then like that just gave me such bad anxiety. Like I No. So anywho, I had raging emetophobia at the beginning of 2019, and I was just like anxious. And so like that just like, and like this, honestly, this went on until like the middle of my sophomore year. Like literally I would feel nauseous all the time. Okay, wait, actually let me rephrase that. It was from 2019 until COVID, and then for all of COVID, actually no, it was for the whole time. Isn't that crazy? That is 2019 until 2025. What? And like this, oh wait, honestly maybe 2024. That's 6 years. Yeah. And like it was like raging emetophobia. Like it was so bad. Anywho, not saying it's like not that it's better now, but like I definitely don't feel nauseous 24/7, because here's what would happen. I would like eat a little and then I would feel nauseous, and I'd be like, I'm gonna stop eating because I feel nauseous and I don't want to throw up. But like what I now realize is whenever you're really hungry, then you start to feel nauseous and you have to eat, and then you have to eat more because you're gonna feel nauseous while you're eating, and then after you'll feel great because you'll be like, I'm full. But if you don't, then you're gonna feel nauseous after because you're gonna be like, wow, I didn't eat enough and I'm still nauseous. And then it's just a cycle, and that cycle happened for me for so long. Like what the heck, how does that happen to you for 6 years? Anyhow, I also just kind of had to learn to stop being so horrified. Not saying that like if I feel nauseous I will tweak out, but like it's better. I also just think I'm in like a different environment, because like fresh air helps me so much, and I didn't get very much fresh air at like my old school, and so I feel like that kind of added to it. But now I feel a lot more like at peace because I can just literally walk outside. Like when I'm at old school, I could not walk outside, like literally. And you're probably like, you can walk outside. Like, no, I could not. There was literally nowhere I could go outside, and that just like kind of killed me. Oh, my ear itches. Okay. I also like have this piercing, and I should have added like some jewelry for it. Okay, piercing. I really want to go shopping and get another piercing for it, and I also want to get this root pierced, but like if you can tell, there's some previous trauma from there, so that's gonna hurt like really bad. I feel like they should do what they do for like minor surgeries and just give me drugs, but whatever. Cold. In one of my classes this week, I got little pieces of metal thrown at me. And you might be like, wow, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, it sounded like very much fresh out of like the Avicii Wake Me Up video. Like, because it's funny because I saw that this week, I forgot when, and it's like, they don't like us. I know. I honestly watched that video once and like that recalled it to my memory, but literally I was like, why do I feel like I'm on Disney Channel right now? But I only got hit once. Like, what? That was just crazy. It was just like quite an occurrence. I don't really know why that occurred. I could like try and conjure up a guess, but I don't really know, because it wasn't like, here, take this, I'm mad at you because of that. Like it was just kind of like, oh wow, there's metal flying at me. Okay. So that was interesting. And then me being me, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna be, because like whenever I was sitting there I was like, I feel kind of sad right now. Like this has never happened to me. I mean, I've had people talk shit before, but I've never been assaulted by metal. But like I said, it only hit me once. Like, don't worry, I wasn't getting like pelted. Like, I'm okay. But like, like I got like hit by it, and I was like, wow, like I don't like that. Like I could like feel it for like the next hour, and I was like, I don't like that. Like I think it's kind of obvious that like nobody would like that. Side note, flashback with the shirt. Okay. And then I went to theater, and I got all this stuff because it was our theater banquet. And then I was like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. And I like, obviously me being me, oh, like I was saying, I didn't want to, like whenever I was sitting there, I kind of felt like a little small, and then I was like, wait, let me fix my crown. Girl, don't get comfortable. But like, I kind of felt like that ish, but I was kind of like, and then it was just like a weird feeling. Like whenever you start talking and everyone starts laughing at you, but not in a good way, kind of like that. So, or what I would imagine that to feel like. That's probably happened to me, let's be real. So yeah, that wasn't really enjoyable. That was not pleasant. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. And so then, here's my thought about that. Am I gonna take that, or am I gonna go tell other people, because I need to know? I can't hold that in, or else I'm gonna feel like sad and emo, like. And so anywho, I went and I spread word, because I was like, I just got assaulted by a middle, and everyone who I talked to was like, that's awful, why did that happen? And I was like, I don't really know. But yeah, so I just had some lovely discussions, and they were like, somebody told me like, don't take it personally, I just think they like throwing things. And I was like, okay. And that low-key helps, because I was kind of like, whatever. And honestly, it felt insanely personal, but I'm choosing to not take it personally, because maybe it was maybe, yeah. So that's really all I got on that, because I can't say maybe it was an accident, because it wasn't. Maybe it was a mistake, because it wasn't. Or maybe it was meant for somebody else, because that's also not good, and the only one it hit was me. So that happened. I have to say that was something. I'm likely gonna run out of storage, but whatever, it's worth it. What else have I done? I have, yesterday I went and I hung out with some of my friends from my old school, and it was fun. We made gingerbread houses, and then we played this game like imposter, but like it was like imposter adjacent. And then we watched Home Alone 2, and that was fun. It was nice seeing them. I haven't seen them since like, it's been a minute. Since like August. So yeah. And then, yeah, that's how my holiday break's been going. I'm working tomorrow, and then I'm working on Christmas Eve. I don't want to do that. Like, is it worth it? If she's like, does anybody want to leave early? Me, I want to me. So yeah, that's gonna be me. Another thing I've been meaning to discuss, I don't know if I've already addressed this, but how much it annoys me how to get into college. Like, so one, you have to do well on the ACT or the SAT. Okay, so you have to take a test that's basically just like the most, like a standardized test, like just like literally proving that you're like the most in the box student ever, right? And then they're like, what makes you out of the box? What makes you special? What makes you extravagant? Like, what are these extracurriculars? What is this? And it's like, you want me to be inside the box, but outside the box at the same time. You shame me, or well, not shame me, but I lose points for being outside of the box whenever I'm taking this, and then I lose points for being inside of the box whenever I do this. It's like, sometimes I feel like I can't do anything right, and it's just like frustrating, because I don't like standardized tests, because they just kind of make me feel like I'm just like, I like being creative, and I like having fun, and it's none of that, for me at least. But I'm also not in like 20 extracurriculars out of school, because it's my junior year. I'm a new kid, and like I'm in stuff in school, but out of school I do school. That's why I don't do karate anymore, because I have school. So, and that's a bit of a predicament for me, because like I don't play a sport. I'm not on like a board or anything. And I feel like for the longest time I felt like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I feel like I'm learning to like be comfortable with myself and just like spend time by myself and do my homework. And then like unwind and get ready for the next day because my homework takes a minute. And I feel like, how would I add something else in there? And I would love to. I also have a job. Like, it's just hard. It's just hard. And so I want to try and find something to do outside of school. But I also just want to make like a disclaimer. Like, if you feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough. Like, it is very hard to find time to do enough. And like, you can do enough. But 90% of the time, it's going to be at the sake of your mental stability. And me personally, I would rather have my mental stability than like 2,000 things on my resume. Because in the end, it's not worth it if every single day you wake up and you feel like you're going to crash out. Because I had tech week for like 2 weeks and I nearly lost it. I did lose it, actually. That was just not fun. And like, don't get me wrong, I love doing stuff. And I love like starting new projects and new initiatives. I just like, that's something I do in school. So like, yeah. And if that seems like problematic or something, it's my honest opinion. So I don't like, it's not meant to be offensive, but also like if you get offended because of my opinion. One more topic to end out this video or this section. I feel like self-worth is something that has come up to me like recently, and like acknowledging your worth, because I have to be so real. At my old school, I genuinely like, I genuinely thought I was ugly. Like, pause. I'm so ugly. Like, no. I genuinely like I did not see myself as like physically attractive, and I just thought I was not like conventionally attractive, which now I feel like I've acknowledged that I am, and I feel like I didn't see that where I was at because it was like a different standard, because conventionally attractive changes where you go. Like, I would not be conventionally attractive in Russia. They would think I'm butt ugly, which I think is really funny. Oh my god, I would die in Russia. I think Russian people are really cool though, and I love their accents. I'm watching Heated Rival right now, and I think Ilya is the sweetest person ever. I think Russian people are really nice. Like, I like whenever people are like, I don't know, I just like Russian people. I think they're cool. Anywho, I'm 90% sure they would think I'm butt ugly, which, that's hilarious. Like, okay. Me in Russia is just like, no. But like, also, I could go somewhere and they could be like, she's the prettiest woman alive. Like, and so you just have to like acknowledge that like where you are should like, pause, where you are is going to change the way people see you, but also you need to know your own worth, which is like, every time somebody says that to me, I'm like, whoa, like how am I supposed to do that? Girl, I have a test due tomorrow. I don't really have time to like, you know, calculate my worth. But like, it's just like a hard thing to do, because I feel like, especially as a woman, because we're constantly doing this, that, like, oh, she's perfect, oh, she's not perfect, and it's like they look the exact same, what the heck. But here's my 2 cents on this. My like $30. Oof, not funny. We're gonna take a sidetrack. I feel like 90% of the jokes I make are meant to be satire. Like, they're not meant to be funny. They're funny because they're not funny. Like me going, hey, $30, like, that's like not, I don't expect people to be like, ha ha ha, that's so actually funny. But whenever they are, I'm like, thank you. But I don't know, I feel the need to clear that up, because sometimes I make jokes and I'm like, that's not meant to be funny. Like you have to get it. Another sidetrack. I feel like 90% of the things I say are misinterpreted, because I'm like, sometimes if you're looking for like for people who are looking for bad stuff, like I'm like their worst nightmare because I say so much stuff, and like if you're looking for bad things, then it sounds awful. But like if you're not, then it sounds like how I mean it. So like whenever I say something and if it seems offensive, I can guarantee you it is not meant to seem that way. Sometimes there's just like a gap between like what I'm thinking and what comes out of my mouth and what other people think I'm trying to say. And so like I just want to clarify that, and I can totally see somebody saying like, oh, you just need to be more aware, like, oh. Yes, because whenever I'm talking to a screen, that is my own face. I can tell what other people watching this are thinking. I try my best, but I'm no Akinator. Moving on, back to my point. Like, I think that your self-worth is determined off of how you treat other people and also how you treat yourself. And like, I think physical attractiveness does play a role in it, but not the same role that other people want like it to be. I feel like you, like, if you look how you want yourself to look, there you go. Don't look how like society wants you to look. Don't look how like some random boy wants you to look. Like, look how you want to look. And then that's where it gets hard, because it's like, how do I want to look? Like, do I want to look like that, or like that, or like whatever? Like, you know, for example, like if I were to dye my hair blonde, I don't think I would look good as blonde, because it would wash my face out. It would just make me look weird. But if I wanted to be blonde, and I really wanted to be blonde, and I was like, I'm a blonde, I'm meant to be a blonde, hell yeah, go blonde. And you know, maybe I'll see it and I'll be like, this isn't for me. Or maybe I'll see it and I'll be like, this is who I am. So you have to like, but there's also a gap. Like, you can't be like, okay, so I just want to be beautiful as myself, but I want to change. Okay, wait, pause. Hold on. No, no. You have to make sure whenever you say, like, love yourself for who you are. Don't love yourself for who. This is hard to say. Oh my god. Okay. We need to keep this in, because this is me trying to be real. But I also don't want to say something. Like, I'm trying to. Okay. Love yourself for who you are, and for like your appearance, your body. And that doesn't mean like you have to love every single thing about yourself. Like, you can be like, oh, you know, I love this, and this, not my favorite thing, but it's part of me, and so I love it. Like that. Like, for example, my habit of overthinking. Yes, making this about myself. Is it my favorite thing? No. However, does it help me a lot? Yeah. And so you can say, I love that it's helpful. Does it also sometimes make me tweak out? Yeah. That's just kind of part of like being yourself, though. I'm so gonna run out of time. Oh my god, this video is so long. I need to start a podcast. No, I don't. Love yourself as you are, but if you want to change things, you're totally allowed to. Because I was gonna say, so that's what I was trying to say. I feel like there's a better way that could be worded, but that's the best it's gonna get. What I was gonna say is, don't change everything about yourself to love yourself, but also sometimes it's just like that. Like, it's really a case-to-case basis, because like, I feel like I just think it's really important to know that, like, taking this away from like physical appearance, because that's gonna give me a headache, because that's just like a mess, like, just like, okay, all over the place. You need to understand that like certain people will try and put you down. They'll try and, you know, fit you into a box. They'll try and tell you who you can be and who you can't be. And self-worth is just choosing to not let what they say matter, and not really care how they view you if you know who you are. So it's like self-love and self-understanding and self-worth all go hand in hand. And so that's like what's hard, because being a teenage girl, oh, it's not for the weak. You're gonna have people telling you, oh, you're doing too much, you're doing too little, you're too dumb, you're too smart, you look like this, you look like that. And you just have to say like, this is who I am. Like, some people, they will always have something to say about something, guilty, and they will, like, they'll judge you and they'll do this and they'll do that. And that's like, that might just be who they are. And some people will say nothing and they just don't have anything to add, or they just are shy and they don't want to say anything. And that's who they are. And so, like, also, it's like a group thing. You also need to accept other people as they are to feel more comfortable with yourself, which is like funny. But I've really noticed that, like, if you feel comfortable within yourself, then you also will not judge other people, because judging other people is like you reflecting your own problems onto them. Like, whenever I really felt insanely insecure, flashback freshman year, whew, that was a rough year. I always felt the need to like just like judge people, also because the people I was around, or some of the people I was around, like, they found that that was the only thing that made them laugh, which, like, I remember always feeling like this sinking feeling, like, this is so wrong, like, why am I saying this? And that's whenever I was like, ding ding ding, that's not who I am. Whenever I was really insecure, that's what I would do. And now I feel a lot more secure within myself, so I don't feel the need to constantly point out what everyone else is doing wrong, because I literally just say, I do so much stuff wrong all the time. I constantly mess up, and that's fine, because I'm not a perfect person and we're not meant to be perfect people. And where it gets hard is whenever people are really hard on themselves, and so they're really hard on everyone else, because I've been guilty of that. It's just like so difficult, because I'm like, I understand, like, this is how you treat yourself, so this is how you want to treat me, but also I don't want you to treat me this way. And so that's like my current problem, just kind of saying like, hey, like, enough, I'm done, please stop, this is like bothering me, this is upsetting me, I don't want to play anymore, please stop. Because like, it's hard. It's hard whenever some people, they will just say crazy stuff to you. Like, whenever I was working and this man came up and said, how old are you? Not even to me, to the girl next to me. What am I supposed to say? Because I was so like assertive. Well, I still am occasionally. I don't really know. I feel like I need to do some self-evaluation because I've changed as a person. I was very like, don't say that to me, like, oh, seeing me in 7th grade, I would clock anyone, and 8th grade, honestly. I still will clock people, but I say that and I don't clock people. Like, I feel like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I clock people, but like, I don't. And I need to start doing that again, because some people, like, you can't get away with this, especially ever since I've started working. Men will not, like, they don't understand boundaries. Random men do not understand boundaries. And people say, like, not all men. Girl, it's not all men, but it's any man. Like, I'm just not trying to play like that. And if you're being freaking weird to me, I have completely the right to say, get out of my face. And that's still what I'm learning, because how do you respectfully say, get away from me? You don't. You just have to say, get away from me. And that's not really, like, that's something that for so long I kind of felt like I was like caged for saying. Like, I was like, oh, she's awful, oh, she's evil, oh, she's so mean, for saying that. But like, in reality, that's just standing up for yourself. And a lot of people won't like it whenever you do that, and that makes it not easy and not fun, because now I kind of feel like if I do that, then I'm gonna get caged again, and that wasn't exactly a fun place to be. You also just have to know, like, it's worth it. It is 1,000% worth it, because you're gonna have inner terror going on inside your mind. Not saying this is happening to me, because like, what's happening to me isn't like every single day, but like, also I feel like without realizing, I've been letting too much stuff slide, and I'm about to be like, no. Because what happened was, I was people pleaser, and then I overcorrected, and then I honestly don't think I overcorrected that much, but then I was kind of like, no, I did. I overcorrected, and I was like, and then I corrected again, and then I'm trying to find that middle area. It's not very easy to find the middle area in there, because there's a lot going on. But like, I mean, also, if you don't care, like, okay, let me say this. I do not care what people think of me. I also don't want to be caged because it's unpleasant. So do it that way you will, and that might not make sense to you, but it makes perfect sense to me. Like, stand up for yourself. And you know what? You might be hated by everyone around you for doing it, because that happened to me a few amount of times. But it's 1,000% worth it, because then you will know who you are. And you don't want to lose yourself, because then whenever you get to the stage where it's like, who am I? That's like a process to figure out. And so it's much easier if you just let people hate you, because then you'll find your right people and you won't have to figure out yourself. But also, what's really important to me, and what I think I've really learned from my crash out before Thanksgiving break, is feel how you need to feel. Because I was constantly like, no, like when I'm journaling, I need to get to, I was doing this without even realizing it. A lot of this is subconscious, and I don't realize it until I'm like, wait. I felt the need to get to a place where it's like, I'm okay and I'm so happy and everything is awesome. But like, everything doesn't have to be awesome. You can still say, I love myself, if everything's not awesome, because that means life's living. And that's great, because you're living and you're coming up with that lore that you're gonna need. Trust me, coming up with lore is sucky in the moment, but like in the moment, sometimes now I think, this is gonna be a great story. I have some great stories. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you took some knowledge out of it. And if you know me, I hope that you understand me now. Wait, pause. I hope you understand me more as a person now, if that's why you're here. Feel free to not tell me that you watched this. I am like half kidding with that. And I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, hello everyone. So I just watched the first video I made, and I realized whenever I speak, my mouth makes like a lot of noises, which I didn't realize until literally the video I just watched. And so yeah, that's something I'm aware of now. And then I also made like a 15-minute long video of me reviewing the Vanity Fair article on the cabinet, I don't know what they're called, the Vanity Fair article of the people in government. And I felt like what I said, like, and what I was saying just wasn't worded well, and I could have made it make more sense, because it sounded like I was critiquing Vanity Fair, which I was not at all. I think that the choices made, like the creative choices and the display of people is like very telling. And I think what was like how the photos look was intentional, and I really like how they displayed each of the people, especially like, okay, so I took time going through each one, and one thing I want to re-say is I think it's interesting how Susie Wiles, oh, I said her name wrong the first time, described as the enforcer. I think the enforcer, yes, she's the White House Chief of Staff. The quote that she has about herself is, I'm not an enabler, I'm also not a bitch. And what I said was, I think this is very telling to what is expected of women in power nowadays. You're supposed to be in charge of people, but you're also, like, she doesn't want to appear as a bitch. I think that should not be a concern. Whenever you are in power, you should not, like, you shouldn't have to care if people think, like, what people think of you, because it is their job to follow what you say as a chief. And so that's all I really have to say about her. JD Vance, I pointed out how it was interesting how he said Trump could be America's Hitler in 2016. that just made me think, why are you working for him and why are you his vice president if that's what you think of him? And then I also thought it was interesting how he made a joke about making other people look better to make himself look good. And he said, like, he really pointed out Marco. I don't know who Marco is. Let's see, is this Marco? This is Marco. Hello, Marco. I don't really know who this man is. He's the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor. All I really noticed on this one was, and for what you will, about the Gator School he keeps on display. And this is in relation to him taking a hard line against Venezuelan president and a softer line against Russian president. And I just kind of said, that's probably supposed to mean something. I don't really know what it's supposed to mean. So I figured I would point it out. And then he also pointed out how Susie Wells' job is hard, which I think that you can see based on her quote. And then there's Stephen Miller. All I had to say about this guy was, I mean, if you see the photo, he's called the Zealot. I think it's pronounced Zealot. It might be Zealot. I don't really know. I don't see this word very often. It means like uncompromising, like somebody who's uncompromising about their beliefs. You can kind of see that from his photo. He looks scary. And he's the tip of the spear for the president. This is me reading off the article. He's the tip of the spear for the president's weaponized roundups, weaponized roundups of immigrants. So this is where I said, yeah, I'm not in agreement. I don't agree with what's going on with ICE right now, and the fact that this guy is in charge of it and he's being displayed this way shows that the photographer has the same ideals as me, and he doesn't seem like a very nice guy, to put it frankly. And also he seems a little secretive based on the fact that his quote is, "I would never talk about whether a meeting occurred or didn't occur, or whether I was in a meeting." Doesn't seem very talkative. Also, he's described as a junkyard dog. Moving on. Oh, for this one, I pointed out how it just talked about what Trump's administration has done this year. And then I said, why doesn't this girl get a bio? And then I realized it's a whole bunch of people. So Miss Leavitt, Caroline, she's described as the mouthpiece. That name for her seems kind of, I'm guessing she just repeats what she's told based on that description. Like, that's the vibe that it gives me. I don't know what she actually does, but that's what it sounds like. And then she was compared to Zoran Mamdani. And based on what I've seen from the people, I don't know if she would like that comparison, but based on the fact that she's dressed in red. Okay. And then there's this guy, what's his name? Dan Scavino. I don't really have any opinion on him. And his photo doesn't really say that much. It just, well, it does say a lot, but like, I don't know. Nothing really popped out at me. James Blair. And then there's this guy. I don't think he has a name. And the best way I can describe him is Spooky Ookie, because the photo of him in the mirror, a little scary to me. There's also not a description on him, because the description comes after, because this is Caroline. This is Dan. Unless that's Dan too. Maybe that is Dan. I don't really know. Okay, maybe that's Dan. And then this guy's James. Mr. Blair? I feel like he would want me to call him Mr. Blair. And then his quote just confused me. He's more worried about making sure people are feeling economically better a year from now. Because even if Epstein were perfect, but they don't feel good about economics, we're screwed. So even if Epstein were perfect, I feel like we all know he wasn't perfect. Or even remotely close to it. That just doesn't make sense. That's confusing, bro. Like, what are you trying to say? And also, why do you look so scary in this mirror photo? Like, the shadows on your face will make you look like you're from a horror movie, bro. I just, no. I feel like maybe if I were to see these people, I think these photos really show who they are. And I think that was the goal. I say that, I don't really know them well. I also know, yeah. So I think the photographer, Christopher Anderson, what just happened? Christopher Anderson, nope, that's an accent. I don't even know which one. Christopher Anderson did what he meant to, and props to him. And then I also got Heated Rivalry caught my eye. I've enjoyed watching that show as of recent, and I now remember that I spoke about it in the video that preceded this one. Also, these are the only people who Vanity Fair chose to display like this, and I think like this whole photo spread like really just shows how they are seen, because nobody in the comments is like, wow, I never expected them to look like this. It's just kind of laughing at them. Let's read a comment, shall we? Christopher Anderson is an absolute legend for this. Ayo, LMAO. Having lip filler and not believing in vaccines is wild. And that's just a meme of somebody smiling. Really incredible work here. Showcasing Caroline's gender affirming care. The mouthpiece. Oh, this is diabolical genius. And that's like kind of what I said. The word choices. Like, girl. Everything that was done and said was intentional, and that was so the purpose, and that makes it such a just like interesting art piece. Like, this is going in a history book somewhere. That's all I gotta say. Then in my other video I spoke a little bit more about like what was going on in my life, but that was before this. So I feel like now it might seem a little insignificant. This video is also going to be 40 something minutes long. So I'm going to peace out, and the rest of this is going to get added to next week. Yeah, I know it's Tuesday and I'm about to be productive as freak.